The prodigies at the death of Jesus, the earth in silence. Before the dimming light. Kardec teaches that the signs described by the evangelists, the darkening of the sun, the tearing of the temple veil, and the earthquake, should not be understood as miracles that contradicted the laws of nature, but as physical and spiritual phenomena that coincided with an event of profound moral and planetary significance. The crucifixion of Jesus was the culmination of the presence of a divine spirit among men, and his departure resonated not only in consciences, but also in the vital fluids of the earth. The darkening of the sun, according to Kardec, was not an eclipse, as the Jewish Passover occurred during a full moon, when such an astronomical phenomenon is impossible. It was likely a fluidic atmospheric condensation, produced by collective commotion and the spiritual action of the invisible planes. The universal fluid, vehicle of emotions and life, reacted to the vibrational intensity of the event, as if nature itself were cloaked in mourning for the pain of the world. Modern atmospheric physics shows that electromagnetic fields and pressure changes can provoke sudden changes in brightness and density in the air. In the same way, strong collective emotional disturbances, accompanied by variations in the geomagnetic field, can generate intense visual effects. The crucifixion of Jesus was an event that deeply shook the planet's psychosphere, and the shadow that descended over Jerusalem was a natural expression of this vibrational impact. Kardec also explains the earthquake reported in the Gospel. It is not necessary to resort to the supernatural. The region of Judea is cut by seismic faults, and small tremors are frequent. But the symbolism is grand. The earth trembles before the greatness of the sacrifice, as if matter recognized the departure of its spiritual guide. This earthquake is also a metaphor for the moral transformation that the gospel would provoke in human history, the revolution of consciousness. The physics of planetary resonance suggests that fields of spiritual energy can influence the vibrational balance of the earth. Jesus, spirit of the highest purity, maintained constant attunement with the divine field that sustains the world. At the moment of his death, the sudden withdrawal of this powerful vibration may have caused perceptible fluidic disturbances in the atmosphere and in the Earth's magnetism, not as punishment, but as a natural energetic readjustment of a planet that temporarily lost the vibrational focus that supported it. The temple veil that is torn is a spiritual symbol, not a material phenomenon. It represents the breaking of the barrier between the human and the divine, the end of external worship and the beginning of the inner worship of the heart. The death of Jesus opens to man the sanctuary of consciousness, freeing him from formal law and inviting him to direct communion with God. Spiritism confirms this interpretation, showing that, after Christ, rational faith replaces ritual, and inner light replaces the shadow of the temple. The tombs that open and the dead that rise symbolize the revelation of spiritual life. With the death of Jesus, the veil that separated the worlds was lifted, and spiritual exchange became a perceptible reality. What the evangelists describe as the appearance of the dead is the manifestation of liberated spirits, visible through the intense fluidic action that accompanied the event. The earth, spiritually magnetized, temporarily became an expanded communication field between the planes. Modern physics recognizes that every form of intense energy leaves traces and reverberations on a large scale. If this occurs in purely material phenomena, how much more so when the energy involved is that of incarnate divine love? The death of Jesus was a vibrational wave of light passing through the earth, the impact of the highest known consciousness, transmuting fields and consciousnesses. Spiritual neuroscience teaches that empathy and compassion have real power over the collective energy field. In that moment, hearts around the planet were picking up, even if unconsciously, the drama of Christ, the universal vibration of redemptive pain and absolute love. It was the first planetary commotion that humanity has on record, a spiritual echo that still resonates in our civilization. Kardec states that the true prodigy was not the darkened sun or the earthquake, but the moral and spiritual impact of Jesus' death, which inaugurated a new era for humanity. Nature seemed to mourn not out of mystery, but out of vibrational empathy. Everything harmonizes when the spirit rises, and everything is disturbed when love is wounded, because life is a network of interdependent vibrations. Modern science today seeks to understand the correlations between mind, energy, and environment. Spiritism has already revealed that every human emotion propagates through the universal fluid, affecting the nature and moral atmosphere of the planet. The crucifixion was, therefore, a spiritual phenomenon of cosmic proportions, whose repercussions manifested both in the visible and the invisible. Understanding the wonders in the death of Jesus is to understand that nature responds to the vibrations of the Spirit. When love is denied, the world trembles. When forgiveness flourishes, light returns. The earth cried on that day, but was reborn in spirit, and since then has walked under the clarity of the gospel. If this reflection has brought you light and hope, share it. Because understanding the wonders in the death of Jesus is to recognize that the pain of Christ was the dawn of the moral sun that still illuminates humanity.